So together we will going through the key themes. So I have tried to capture the recurrent themes over the past sessions. So in the interest of time, I think uh, it may be good to really display the list of the teams as a startup. So we have the funding crisis realities, which has been really an issue and a critical portion of every topic. So this has been discussed very well. And the second thing is about the repositioning of SCBC, because taking into consideration the current funding aid cuts, this repositioning of the SCBC as an accelerator of change has been also discussed, and this is one of the themes that recurrently emerge. And thirdly, the diversification of funding portfolio. This is also another theme that has been really uh, brought up across all sessions and presentations. Evidence and accountability gaps also has been one of the themes. And innovation and resilience. Innovation and resilience is not only about the funding aspect, but also on how to design really low-cost SCBC interventions, taking into account the funding cut. So there were several recommendations about this. Also, the sustainability and ownership has been also another theme that has been really coming over and over again. So these 7 themes are the major themes as presented as a clustered around this. So lots of things have been discussed, but the main themes that can be really summarized are these. So now I am bringing, or I am asking the audience to really consider this, and if there are themes that are missed, the floor is yours. So we encourage you to really add more themes if there are missed ones. Hello? Hello? Is my voice heard?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yes.
Oh,
We can hear you.
yeah, these are the themes that are captured, and these are themes that really clustered lots of things, but across all presentations and discussions, these are the major themes. So if we have more, then we can update this one. If not, then we can move to the recommendation sections. Okay. So based on the themes, then what are the recommendations to be prioritized? Because one of the objectives of this symposium is to really develop a roadmap. So these recommendations are based on the themes. So the first one is the diversification of funding portfolios. So many things have been presented. I will not go through them, but even from the breakout sessions, like raising taxation from sugary drinks, and also the digital micro donation, all these have been indicated, including the public-private investment. So this is one of the recommendations to diversify funding portfolio. I think hello. Yeah. Please,
Yeah, we are hearing you, sir.
can you go back to the recommendations, please? Yeah. So the second thing is the sustainability and ownership. So this includes like tackling dependency syndrome, decolonizing our mindsets, shifting to local resource mobilizations. So this is also one of the recommendations. And thirdly, the funding, I think there is a mix. I think there is a mix of these themes and the recommendations. This is not the list that I have prepared. Repositioning SCBC comes again as a recommendation, generating evidence and accountability measures, also advocating for global, regional, and national SCBC leadership structure is also one thing. And the other recommendation is the integration of SCBC policy into policies, projects, and systems. So this has been also one of the recommendation. Also, the repositioning of the SCBC, such as the community sensational stories. This has been also presented by Alan. So I think these are the recommendations, but still, I think this has been mixed with the teams. This is not the one that I prepared as a recommendation. So I still encourage you to include more recommendations, but these are the recommendations that I tried to capture while the presentation were going on. So can you move to the last section of this summary? Hello, Mabel. Please move to the next. Okay, so now based on the themes and recommendations, so what are the actionable next steps? Which means I think we need to identify what to be done, who is going to take the lead, and also when to implement. So the first one is just generate evidences. So this has to be done. I think there has to be a task force, or the secretariat can designate a group to really generate evidence to show that ACBC can attract investment. So it's about moving from outputs to impacts. And the second one is the organized advocacy for integrating SCBC into policy systems. This has been brought up several times, but then what would be, how do we design our roadmap really to organize advocacy forums for advocacy activities? Because we have said that integration of ICBC into policies, systems, and projects is an essential component. And the fourth one is build multi-sectoral partnership with government, private sectors. This has been also one of the recommendations. Again, build coalition with donors based on transparent engagement. This has been also raised several times. So building coalition with donors is an important actionable step. The last thing is consolidate outcomes into a joint communiqué. So just to meet the fourth objective of this symposium, which is to develop a roadmap, I think there has to be a joint communiqué based on the outcome of this symposium. But I still encourage the participants to really forward their additional themes, recommendations, and also actionable steps. So by this, I come to the end of my session. In fact, my role is to to moderate, to encourage participants to forward their teams, additional teams, recommendations, and actionable steps. So in the remaining time, I will leave the floor for participants to forward their suggestions.